Hey, hello, kids. So, on this auspicious occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi, today in India, we are going to do something new. You know, Ganesha ji is a symbol of something new. So, whenever you do something new, in the Hindu culture, you take the name of Ganesha. Although, to be very honest, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in religion or gods. That makes come across as a bit strange to some people, but that's how I am. I believe more in science, rationality, humanism, etc., and ethics, of course, being an ethical human being, being fair to animals, being fair to the environment, etc., etc. And the principle that I follow is do unto others what do others do unto you. Why am I talking all this? Yeah, so it's a digression. Sorry, sorry about that. So I like to digress. I don't like to stay in a very confined what we call a straight jacket. Like this is exactly what we are. And I don't like to talk in exactly a straight line. And I think every human mind is like that. We keep jumping here and there and there, and that's why our code wizards framework or our classes are not putting you in a pipe. You put in students at one pipe, another pipe some comes in, comes out the student who knows Scratch. It's not like how that's not how a human mind works, isn't it? So we allow you to do a lot of random stuff. Go here if you're making a game. You think of something. Initially, you thought you'll make a shooting game, but in the middle of I'm sorry, what is happening to me? Okay, God, please help me here. I don't believe in God, but I think there's something. And I don't know why people say God bless you when somebody says this. Okay, anyway, so I don't believe in God, so it's not a topic that interests me too much. So what was I saying? So what I was saying, so because the human mind is a very jumpy kind of a thing, it's more like a monkey. So many Buddhist monks use this term called the monkey mind. So it is like a monkey mind, and even our learning process is a bit like a jumpy thing. It is not something like in the school we have class one, class two, class three, unit test one, unit test two. This. A mind is actually a haphazard little piece of mess. Actually, and from the mess comes out a lot of beauty if you learn to tame it. But if you tame it too much, if you make it totally up into a small straight jacket, then nothing comes out. Then all you have is people who know how to pass exams, who really are of no use to anybody, to be very honest. I mean, if you may get the highest marks in your exams, but if you don't have real knowledge, then nobody can really be. You can really not be of much use to anybody. So at Code Wizards, we emphasize on being a little random, being a little open, and not only doing coding just to make games or just to make an application or just to learn maths, but doing something completely random. And today's session or today's video is going to be slightly random. We are going to do what? Guess. Something which usually people don't associate with coding. Music. Today we are going to explore the world of music with Scratch. It's going to be a very, very different session. So, shall we get started? All right, come on, follow me. Here my Scratch is open, and you know how to add the music extension over here. Looks pretty simple. Let's add our simple the Sri Ganesh blocks. Okay, today I'm using Ganeshi reference because somehow everywhere it's Ganesh, 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 Ganeshi, Ganeshi. So Sri Ganesh is the beginning of something. So the beginning of something in Scratch is the green flag. Let's take beginning of code rather in Scratch is the green flag. And yesterday I showed you the logo, and it appeared as if I'm going below the screen. You know what I did? So I did this, but I'm not actually bending down. What am I? Oh, any guesses how I'm doing this? I'm actually just tilting my laptop screen. I am exactly sitting where I am. So it looks as if I'm going down or up, but it's not like that. It's only the laptop screen. So let's create some music. What can we do? So let's start with some rhythm. Let me share my sound, which is unshared till now. Let me just drag and drop some random rhythm blocks. These are the rhythm blocks. Okay, so you see this is the play drum. Here is a play note. Play drum is different kinds of drums, and play note is different kinds of notes. Like da 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 da, da that's a drum. There's one rhythm called Keherva Rag Tero. Dhagina tinak din dhagina tinak din dhagina tinak. Keherva is very very popular in a lot of film songs. It's a tal or a rhythm that comes from your Hindustani classical music. And then the notes are like, and this is more like a drum. You can have different types of drums. Okay. just set the instrument here for the piano. So we'll just first start with some random rhythms. Let me just drag and drop 4 or 5 over here. So this is not a recipe, this is an open-ended thing. You should just explore this on your own, try to do your own thing. Okay, doing your own thing is the core part of a code wizards class. I mean, if you just follow what the teacher said, then what's the use, right? You're not a creator. When you become a creator with your own original spark, that's when you're becoming, that's when you become a scratcher, in our opinion, or you become a code wizard. So you want to be a code wizard, try to add a lot of your own mind, try to add a lot of your own creativity. That's when you become a wizard. Just by following, nobody becomes a wizard. Let's add some, let's apply that crash hand clap. Instead of the conga, let's take block. That's something more. Okay. I'm just having random fun. Okay, even I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what comes out of it. Open-ended takes you to places you do not have imagined. Let me start this. Okay, so shall we try to play? Okay, we don't have the tabla and stuff like that. Okay, so we could actually try to play the kerwa or the tintal. Dha, din, din, da, dha, da, dha, din, da, din, din, da, da, da. Now, shall we try to play some notes? I won't destroy this. I'll just keep it aside and let me play some. The same thing is going to keep playing. Let me try to play. This. There's this Marathi Aarti. Sukha karta, dukha harta, varta vignachi, nurvi purvi prem, krupa jayachi. This is a tribute. This is a Aarti for Lord Ganesha. Shall we try a little bit of that? I mean, the whole thing you can't do. Let me try this. Okay. Why am I playing the drum in between? So it'd be like, no, no. Okay, let's try this one. So it's like, so it's 2 times. This pattern. So let's get this first. This is tadang, tang, tang. So 2 times. So it's going to be 4 times. Okay, like this. So see how I'm building it up. So the first two will have very less, very small ones. So let's make it. So they'll play for a shorter time. You saw? Tadadang, tung, tadadang, tung. So that's how you slow it down in your mind and you play it. So now the same note, but what we'll do is note 61. Now 2 times, the two longer ones. Tung tung. It'll be like that. Tung tung. I think I'll discard the rhythm for now. It's not doing anything. Go to your crash bin. Sorry, garbage bin. Crash. What am I saying? Crash bin. Trash bin. Why is there a note before everything else? Why is there a long note? Oh, this because this one. Okay, okay. This became 0. So 2 times. Okay, this is this happened 2 times. Only 2 times. Okay, and then it's in a forever, so we can't tell the difference right now. How is it? 2 times. Now, tung 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 tung. How does it work? Tung. Oh, sorry. So 61, 61, right? 61, 62, 61, 63, 61, 63, 61, 63, two times again. So it's 61, 63. Okay. Now we'll again put this two times. So we should see then last one we need to add that'll be only once. I had no clue what I'm going to build. I just thought, something we'll build. I just didn't think we'll build this kind of a music. Let's see how it turns out. So let's see how it turns out. That's the spirit of Scratch. Okay, let's do something and let's figure out as we go along. Instead of having a set pattern, today we are going to learn this. Children, today we are going to learn these. That's how they do it in school. That's not how we do it. We do it the crazy way, open ended. Okay, children, today we will learn. No, not like that. I used to hate school. There was no creativity. There was no open ended. I have absolutely no shame in saying I hated school. Okay, I mean, because school is when you is a place you learn. Learning is not supposed to be like a mechanical thing, that like a robotic thing. You do one step and the second step and the third step and the first unit test, the second chapter. It has to be haphazard. Okay, it has to be so, and there has to be a freedom to ask questions which you don't get in school. So Teachers Day is coming up, and I am a very, very vehement critic of the school system. But you should study well. There's no doubt about it. Find yourself ask your parents to come take you to a good school where they are let you ask questions. That's very important. So tung 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 tung. How's that? Tung 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 tung. So this one, that's it. Note number 60. And this is play for a slightly longer time. So let's see how this sounds. Got it. Tung 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 tung. Let me actually just share the song with you. It's called Sukha Karta Dukha Harta. Matlab somebody who gets you happiness and takes away your unhappiness. Dukha Harta. Harna means take away, or to steal away. So let me just try to YouTube and I'll just play the tune for you. Sukha Karta Dukha Harta. How about guitar? I actually plan to play it on the guitar one day. It's a guitar.
35% growth in 2021. What if you mastered the 3 most in-demand?
Go.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज कौस्तुभ एंड आज के वीडियो में मैं आपको एक लाइन है 5 देखिए। तो चलिए ये
नरसिंह प्रेमान कामना पूर्ति जय देव मंगल मूर्ति लंबोदर पीतांबर फणिवर वंदना सरळ सोंड वक्रतुंड त्रिनयना दास रामाचा वाटपा हे सदना संकष्टी पावावे सॉरी संकष्टी पावावे निर्वाणी रक्षावे सुरवर वंदना जय देव जय. We'll just do a little bit more and then we'll call it off. Okay, so let's see. It's a bit too fast. I think we'll slow it down. What we can do is set tempo to 60. You can directly set the tempo directly over here. So tempo is a bit too fast. You can slow the whole thing down. Perfect. Then it's पूर्वी प्रेम कृपा जयाची. Tung 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 tung. So let's break it down. Slow it down. Again, the same principle of programming. Break it down. Slow it down. Nurvi tung 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 tung. So let's just focus on tung tung. Like we focus on the initial part. Let's focus only on the initial part of this block here. We took the first part. We broke it down. Now we are going to go to the next part. This part we have done. Now tung 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 tung. You see the three tung tung tungs are all the same. Tung 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 tung. So 1, 2, 3, 5. So 5 of these and one of these. Then again one of this, and and then 5 of those little ones. So you're going to use a repeat block, and we're going to use which one was that? This one, 63. Yeah, 5 times. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Iterative. No, something went wrong. No, something went wrong. So how do we debug? What we can do is, how do you debug? Isolation. Okay, now there's a new principle that we're learning. Now things are not going right in our code. What we can do is, whatever we have done right, we can set it aside. Okay, so this whole part, these two parts were actually 5, the first two parts. So let's put them aside. And then there was one more. This whole thing represented the very first phrase of the Aarti. Now let's take the, see, kids, I don't want you to repeat all this. I just, by doing this with you or in the video, I'm trying to show you that going slow and making mistakes is the right way to go. I don't want you to copy this exact same code. I want you to come up with this with your own original tune, or probably you try to discover your own. You want to play some other Aarti or some other music, etc. And I don't want you to copy this, but by doing this in front of you, I want to show you what the process looks like. So this whole thing is not working. Then what did I do? Just observe all of that. That is what I want you to learn. I just isolated the part that works, and I'm now only focusing on the part that does not. Now, sealing the two, thinking of the whole thing into different parts, that's another skill, but that will come to you. Actually, I realized I'm doing this and I'm doing this. It's actually looking a very, very similar to this journalist called Shekhar Gupta, who does the videos on YouTube for The Wire, but he does exactly like this, like this. I've become like him watching his videos. I'll try to avoid that and come up with my original hand actions or no actions at all. Okay, so this part is done. Now, Nurvi, tung, 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 tung. Now, let's see what this is doing. Uh-huh. So this is fine. Nurvi, Purvi, Nur, tung, 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 tung. Nurvi, Purvi, Prema. So this is the last one is going to be a little longer. No, tung, 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 tung. So this part is fine, the 60 tung. This part is the 60 tung, 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 tung. So this is going to be tung, 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 tung. So this is going to be 4 actually, it's not 5. Tung, 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 tung. So then the same thing is going to play for a very short time. Ta-tung, tung, ta-tung, tung, 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 tung. So it's going to be 0.1. So I'll reduce the time. Tung, 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 tung. Oh, so sorry, 61. So 61, and then again a 60. Tung, tung. So this is going to be 3 times. Now, if you're not able to follow the music, that's not a problem at all, because you may not know the Aarti tune, the dhun. That's fine. I just want you to realize that I'm actually slowing things down. Like, the Flash character who sees everything in slow, you have to become Flash sometimes. So when I was trying to make a Pac-Man game. It sounds like a very simple game, but I used a very interesting algorithm there. Algorithm is like a set of, what we're doing is an algorithm, by the way. So I wrote an algorithm called a very famous algorithm called the Dijkstra's algorithm. Dijkstra's, what do we know? What a weird name, but I mean, somebody may call Anur Punyani a very weird name. Actually, it is. So Dijkstra's algorithm was written by me, but in coding that game, I had to slow down the whole process frame by frame of when the Pac-Man would turn and the automatic following enemies would go close to it. So to break it down frame by frame by frame, just like Flash sees the whole universe, he sees everything so slowly, like it's almost cut down into frames. So now I've broken this tune down very slowly. Probably I went too fast for you, but when you do, actually try to slow down, go systematically. That's the way to go. So tung 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 Let's see how far we have gone. No. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Stop. Tung, 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 tung. This is the topmost one. Tung, 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 tung. And then this has to be 60. Sorry. Again, if it goes on repeat, you'll get confused. Tung, 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 tung. So tung, 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 tung. So I think again it's 5 times. Tung, 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 tung. Okay, again it's 5 times. It's hard to follow. I'm sure if you're confused, you would be confused by now. No, something is going wrong. Tung. So let me play this. Tung. So let me take a blank piano somewhere and work with that instead of messing our stuff up. One, three, four, five. This is that last part. When did block this? Oh, sorry. So it's actually the okay. Oh, it's 61 in between. But that's correct, no? Short 61. Hmm. Oh, then again. Oh, it's a 61. So one short 61, one short 60. Wait, so again, one short. Okay, one short 61, then 60, then again 5 times. Then a short 60, correct. And a short 60, the 0.1, and then one, two, three, four. Okay, those 4 times, and again we have a 60. No, 61. Now let's see. Okay, some timing issues now. That's not sounding tung 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 tung. So I think this is too small. Tung tung tung. Oh, I think this one is a little 60 is a bit longer. So I'm being very iterative here. I think this one is tung 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 tung. I think this one is even longer. 0.4 beats. Let's try. I think this one is not so long. 0.3 beats. Let's try. It's still a bit too long. I think 0.25 is fine. But I think the first something is going a bit weird, right? So tung 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 tung. So it's slightly longer beat, I think. The longer note. Yeah, it's I think a little longer. It's not 0.25. It might be 0.3. I think that should work. Okay. Oh no. It is not 60. Huh. Correct. think this one is a bit longer, 0.2 beats. It's not so short. Yeah, 0. Somewhere 0.15. See how I'm being very iterative about this whole thing. So repeat. Okay, the whole thing is done now. Let's piece back our the good code back. Come on, Scratch, don't do this to me. Let's now take some space out, put this down, and let's zoom out so that we don't mess this up. And now place our rest of the code below. Now let's play the. Something is going a bit off. Almost there. I think there's some timing issue over here. How long this has to be? This is actually 0.05. Let's try to make it super small. Now it's correct. Actually, it was a very short one. I think it's become very short now. 0.1 was only correct. Was correct. Again, I think something I'm not satisfied. Either it's 1.0.7. Let's try this. Oh, 0.7 will be too much. 0.5 and then 0.25, 0.1, 0.08. Let's try that. That's what is the difference between 0.08 and 0.1? What is bigger? 0. 0.25. You have to make it less than 0.25. So it could be 0.1. What is less than even less than 0.1? 0.01. 0.08 is actually very close to 0.1. Something is off. 0.1 didn't work that well, right? Almost there. So I think this is skipping a bit more. So let's make it 0.15. Again, this part is what is going wrong. Let me just play it again. Let me take a blank block so that I don't mess this currently, whatever we have done here. So this one I think is a half of 0.3. So that's correct. I think it's even lesser. 0.1 is not also not. It is actually, is it a long note? Is it like almost the same? Let's try. That is actually correct. I think let's reduce it just a little bit. 0.2. This is correct. This is correct. Okay, I think we are done, guys. Point I'm not trying to teach you how to make Ganesh Chaturthi in scratch. I am trying to teach you by observing me. You can notice that I made so many mistakes as usual. That is the process. And secondly, you also saw how at one point I'm only working on one piece of the puzzle. The other piece which I solved perfectly well, it was confusing me, so I set it aside. Then I just focused on the one that I had to work on at this particular point of time. And then I slowly made, refined it. It's called it again. I keep repeating the same term, iterative. You make a mistake, you come back, you learn from the mistake, you go back again. You have to be a Galileo, not a Socrates. Okay, and what else did you get to learn here? That also nice music can be made in scratch, and anybody can make music. You don't have to have a very musical mind to be able to discover a tune. You can do it iteratively. Anything that you do, actually, iterative philosophy is such a powerful thing that you can probably achieve anything in your life. Just break down problems into smaller parts and then work on one problem at one particular point of time. Do something based on intelligent guesses. Whatever result happens, learn from it and then go one step further. That's how, actually, what, there's this model called machine learning. The whole core principle of machine learning is that there are some models you feed in data, and I think there are some kind of guesses that the model or the program does, and then based on the response or how correct that output was, how different from the actual expected output the program did, it changes itself a little bit every time. It runs so super fast. Okay, you can't be a machine learning algorithm, you can't run a machine learning algorithm, but you can take inspiration from it. What you can do is this: break down a big problem into smaller parts, then iteratively work on the smaller parts, do something, check what you did, how far was it from what you expected to be, and then try to again use your intelligence to go a little bit further, and then solve the first part. Then bring in the second part. Do the same thing. If the second part is too big, take the second part and break it down into five more parts. Then then attack the first part. It's divide and rule. What the Britishers did to India, that we have to do to code. All right, guys. I think I'm speaking too much in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want a free demo, please let us know. If you want to join our classes, we do our classes in groups. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of crazy stuff. If you would like to join our class, which happens on Zoom twice a week with the really good instructors who love to teach you, who love to interact, who love to joke around with you, please drop a message in this video and we'll be happy to schedule a demo for you. And with that, I'll say the three magic words. What are they? Like, share, subscribe. And there's one more that I've added is please press the bell icon for more interesting videos like this. And what else? Good night. Bye bye. I hope you had a great holiday today in India, at least with the Ganesh Chaturthi. And it's a start of Ganesha ji in the Hindu philosophy represents the start of something. I mean, he's considered to be a beginner. I think, I mean, not a beginner as in the skill sense, but we always take the name of Lord Ganesha when you do something new, because he's considered to be auspicious to start new things. So start, if you have not started creatively thinking about doing and making things, it need not be scratch. Try to make something with motors. Get your dad and mom to order some motor set from Amazon. Try to make your own car with your batteries and motors, or take a pen and paper and or a big paint canvas and try to come out with your own painting, or try to come up with your own story. Reading stories is very simple. I mean, it's actually sometimes gets boring, but trying to come up with your own imagination, try to coming up with your own colorful story. That's so fun. So think of a story of a land where, um, start with a very magical land in which the grapes are this big, and the fruits, when you open them, comes out of a nice shiny ball of chocolate. There are some fruits like that. And then in the rivers flows orange juice, OJ. And in some rivers there is pineapple juice. So you just dip your bottle and drink your pineapple juice from these rivers. And then there are everybody is nice. Don't make a story with monsters and this and that. You don't need to make scary stories, right? There are no monsters, there are no ghosts. Make some simple, nice, happy stories. And I would like to actually see a YouTube video of any of you doing something creative. Scratch, of course, I'll be very happy to see a video, and we'll actually even spread your videos across in our networks. We'll share them across. But if you do anything creative, please let us know. Whether it's a painting, whether it's a story, whether it's something with whether it's creative in the engineering sense, like you made a car, you made a light which turns on when you press a button, or what else? There's so many things possible with motors also, like you made a button press fan, or you made a telegraph. It's not that difficult. Try to make a telegraph. That was the communication technology being used long before you have landline phones also. So in Hindi, we used to say tar aaya hai. Tar means it's a telegram. Tar means wire. So a wire, through the wire it used to come. You press a button here, and somewhere else there'll be a small contraption or a machine which will do tuck. So based on the tuck tuck sounds, they used to write entire messages. Now we have mobile phones. You pick up and do a video call to anybody across the world. In Timbuktu, Timbuktu seems to be my favorite name for the favorite random place to use. But it could be Dibrugarh, Timbuktu, or Bangladesh, or Sri Lanka, or anywhere. You just pick up the phone, you can do a video call. But in those days, it was not as good as this. But why did it happen? Because there were some very creative, intelligent people which came up with ideas on how to solve problems, on how to solve this problem of wireless communication. And I think our own very own Indian scientist J.C. Bose was one. So you will see that my videos are always going to be about a lot of other random stuff because my mind is not a machine. I don't stick to a plan. And I hope you don't stick to a plan. Be very creative. Like, share, subscribe this video, and do let me know in case you need a demo class. Thanks for watching.